Hello, my dear children. Myself Sujata. Today we will learn a new chapter, Chapter 9 Madam Rides the Bus, written by Vallikannan. Before getting into the chapter, let us know about the author. Vallikannan is the pseudonym of the famous writer R.S. Krishnaswamy. He was born in a village near Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu on 12th November 1920. He was a famous Tamil writer, journalist, critic, and a translator. He started writing at a very young age and had published 25 books by the time he was 30. In 1978, he was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award. He died on 9th November 2006. In this story, the author tries to present a world as seen from a child's perspective. The main character of the story is an 8-year-old girl who lives near a bus stop in a village. For major part of the day, she enjoys standing in a doorway watching frenetic activities at the bus stop. Valli develops a desire to enjoy a ride on the bus, but she needs to plan meticulously to realize her dream. She has to curtail her expenses so that she can save enough money for two-way fare. She also has to make the journey during the time when her mother takes afternoon nap. While on a journey, Valli does not want anybody's help and wants to feel independent. She enjoys every bit of her journey to the town. But she is careful enough not to get off the bus in the unknown environs of the town. On a return journey, she sees a young cow dead by the roadside. It is the same animal she had seen on her journey to the town. This spoils her mood and she just keeps to herself throughout the journey. Valli goes running to her home. She finds her mother talking to one of her aunts. It is clear from their conversation that they have no knowledge of Valli's excursion into town. She does not seem to be satisfied with one ride and wishes to make another attempt in future. She is also quite mischievous when she is sure that her mother did not know about her journey. Okay, now let us read the chapter together. There was a girl named Valliammai who was called Valli for short. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. But for Valli, standing at the front door was every bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. Watching the street gave her many new, unusual experiences. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that travelled between her village and the nearest town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Valli. Day after day she watched the bus and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Valli would stare wistfully at the people who got on or off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Wistfully means longingly. Their faces would kindle in her longings. Kindle means set alight. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and try to describe the sights of the town to her, Valli would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval. A slang expression, informal words often used within a close group. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly use the bus. And she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. Discreet questions means careful questions. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. The fare was 30 pies one way, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say. But to Valli, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in a seat and paid another 30 pies, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Okay, now try to answer these questions. What was Valli's favorite pastime? What was a source of unending joy for Valli? What was her strongest desire? What did Valli find out about the best journey? How did she find out these details? What do you think Valli was planning to do? Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then! Tell whoever it is to come quickly." "It is me," shouted Valli. "I am the one who has to get on." By now the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really, you don't say so." "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Valli, still standing outside the bus. "And here is my money." She showed him some coins. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her up. "Never mind," she said. "I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me." The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. "Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam," he said. "Here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam." It was a slack time of day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Valli and laughing with the conductor. Valli was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. "May we start now, madam?" the conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice, and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was a new bus. It is outside painted a gleaming white, gleaming means shining brightly, with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Directly in front of Valli, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. Valli devoured everything with her eyes. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of a window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields. Green, as far as the eye could see. Oh, it was all so wonderful. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. "Listen, child," said the voice. "You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her. but she was annoyed by his attention. There is nobody here who is a child, she said haughtily. Haughtily means proudly. I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else. The conductor chimed in. Oh, sir, but this is a very grown up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone? Valli shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket. I will remember, the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Mimicking means copying. Everyone laughed, and gradually Valli too joined in the laughter. The conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That is why we want you to sit down, child. I am not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I am 8 years old. Of course, how stupid of me. 8 years. The bus stopped. Some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Valli finally sat down. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valli as the bus started again. Valli found the women absolutely repulsive. Repulsive means causing strong dislike. Such big holes she had in her earlobes, and such ugly earrings in them. And she could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. Ugh, who could be sociable with such a person? Yes, I am traveling alone, she answered curtly. Curtly means showing displeasure. And I have got a ticket too. Yes, she's on her way to town, said the conductor, with a 30 paise ticket. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Valli. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. But the old woman went on with her drivel. Drivel means silly nonsense. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What is the street? What is the house number? You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Valli said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. Okay, now try to answer these questions. Why does the conductor call Valli madam? Why does Valli stand up on the seat? What does she see now? What does Valli tell the elderly man when he calls her a child? Why didn't Valli want to make friends with the elderly woman? Okay, try to answer all the questions given. We'll continue with the chapter in the next session. Thank you.